the great Joe Montana, the brilliant, the insightful Joe Montana has a plan for the 49ers at quarterback, Larry. He said that the 49ers should stick with Jimmy Garoppolo. What do you think?
Obviously, he didn't see the presser. He didn't see the Shanahan-Lynch presser where Shanahan basically, in 5 words, said that ain't happening. So there's no chance of that. It is interesting. I don't know why he's so pro Garoppolo, but he seems to be. And he doesn't seem like he's up on his Niners news, at least not from, the indications are that there's no way Jimmy's coming back next year. But you know what? Anytime Joe says his thoughts on the quarterback situation, it's news.
He has kind of flip-flopped on this. I interviewed him one-on-one a couple years ago before the 2021 draft, and he said it was time to move on from Jimmy Garoppolo and get a young guy. He said this on the record. Then he said the Niners should take Mac Jones. Then they took Trey Lance. Then he decided that Jimmy Garoppolo was disrespected and all this, and that they shouldn't replace him, even though he said that they should replace him. I'm questioning his motives here, Larry. Joe Montana is interesting. On the one hand, you got Steve Young, who treats the Niners like he's the uncle. Like he's so invested in everything they do and all their players. And you got Joe, who has an axe to grind because they traded him. And he felt he should have been replaced and that Steve was never as good at him. And you never really know if Joe is giving like suggestions from the goodness of his heart to help the Niners or if he's like pro-chaos. This kind of feels like pro-chaos to me.
Well, it does sound like he's, he was the guy who could still play, who was chased out of town, and now he seems to be backing whoever the guy is that's going to be chased out of town. In this case, it happens to be Garoppolo. So maybe he's just kind of internalizing his own situation. I don't know. I mean, he said he went on with the open mic podcast with Silver, and he says, I start Jimmy. He's won a lot of games. I can't say the same for Trey. You don't know that from him. I don't think it's hard. I think you just start Jimmy. No even reference to Brock Purdy, who, still has really never been beaten in a game, and who a lot of people see a lot of Joe Montana-like traits in Brock, but he didn't even reference Brock. So it makes you wonder if, how he feels about Brock. I mean, why wouldn't he like Brock?
Again, I think it's deeper than this. I think he just likes second-guessing the 49ers. Kind of like me. I love second-guessing the 49ers. Steve doesn't. Steve's very respectful. He'll give his opinion. He'll be candid, but at the same time, he's never saying, like, I don't know what John Lynch is thinking, or I don't know what Kyle Shanahan is thinking. He's very pro the whole regime over in Santa Clara. Joe is not. Joe has glee saying, I don't really know what they're doing over there, or they made the wrong call, or they should have taken Mac Jones, or they're really messing up by getting rid of Jimmy Garoppolo. He loves to do this. He lives to do it. So do I. So from one shit disturber to another, I recognize a shit disturber when I see a shit disturber. That's Joe. He's disturbing the shit.
You're saying he just wants to upset the 49ers any way possible.
Hell yeah. He is. And he's not doing it because he's quality control. He's doing it because he's got his own agenda, and I respect it.
Well, I mean,
Jimmy Garoppolo?
You know what was really clear listening to watching the Joe pod is that Joe is whatever. He's not over the fact that the 49ers decided to part ways with him, and he's very bitter at George Seifert. It's really clear. If you watch that documentary, it was really clear.
I'll never get over that.